there is a lot up here.
Yeah, you're good.
Officer Huizar. I work for Sparks PD. Been there since December 2020. My incident happened March 29th this year. So I work day shift, so I get off, or I start 6 a.m., get off at 4 p.m. My incident happened at 1:41 p.m. So, you know, most of the team, we don't really do a lot of stuff right before we get in, and I'm that person that sees something, you know, a traffic stop or something, can't help myself, right? I'm gonna pull it over. So this day, I was at an intersection just in the parking lot, just watching traffic go back and forth. I see two vehicles at a red light, make a left-hand turn, like if one of the back vehicle is covering for the first vehicle. So I see them turn, the windows aren't tinted, so I see the first vehicle in front. It's a brown, like early 2000s Ford Expedition. It's unlicensed, so I was like, sweet, I got my reason for the stop right there. I initiate my traffic lights. The first vehicle, or the second vehicle, pulls over. So I catch up to the first vehicle. As I catch up to the first vehicle, he pulls over. So at that point, the second vehicle, I'm getting out of my car, the second vehicle passes me. And so I'm walking up to the car, windows are still up, so I'm kind of like going around it. Right as I get to the window, I just see the subject, the person, just turn, doesn't even pull the gun out, just puts it like to his chest, and then shoots me twice. So I get hit, I kind of like do a turnaround, and then he's taking off. I start returning fire. As he's taking off and I'm returning fire, he runs a stop sign, and then a U-Haul somehow magically appears out of nowhere and crashes into him. So I'm like processing everything that's happened. So I feel that I got hit, and I start feeling like water or something. Got shot or got grazed on the side of my neck. So I'm running, I go like this, and I see blood obviously coming out. I was like, okay, well, I'm not bleeding out because I know if I got shot in my neck and if it was an artery, I wouldn't be going anywhere. So I see him, I see that he got hit at the intersection. I start, for some reason, chasing after him. So I get up to his vehicle, clear the vehicle, and then another person, a witness that saw the accident, they're like, hey, he just got out and hopped over the fence. So I'm calling directions. At this point, you know, everybody's coming to me because they heard I was shot. So I know people are coming, and it's a valley. So we got Reno, Sparks, the Washoe County Sheriff's Office there, so everybody's coming. I know cover's not too far away. And they're like, hey, he just hopped that fence, so I'm relaying it over the radio. My cover's showing up, and then as my cover shows up, he starts, you know, taking off my uniform, taking off my vest, making sure I'm okay. Then they call the paramedics in, which they're not really supposed to do, but you know, thankful for them. But they just roll in through the hot zone, just throw me in the ambulance, and then off I went to the hospital. At that point, he hops into a mom's house where she's cooking lunch for her children. He tried to take them hostage, but she ends up stabbing him a few times, and he's like, hey, this isn't the house to be at. So, you know, he hops out, goes to the next house, and it's a old retired lady just living by herself, hops in there, takes her hostage, and he's like, pretty much tells her like, hey, I'm gonna get in the car and you're gonna drive me away. So as the rest of my team is showing up, they're clearing the houses because they know he's somewhere here. So they're telling people to stay inside. As they're approaching that house, the garage opens up, and she's backing out. He's in like a SUV, kind of like a Volvo wagon, I believe. He's in the back seat, covered up. My partners walk up to the lady and they're like, hey, get back in the house. We have a subject, running around out here. And she's like, oh, okay. But apparently he told her that, if you do anything out of the usual, he's gonna shoot her. So he's in the back seat, just hiding underneath the blankets with the gun already pointed at her. So she goes back into her house. We're coming back around, they're coming back around, double checking the house. They knock on that lady's house again. And at that point, it takes a while for the lady to open up the door. And the guy is telling the lady, she's like, hey, don't open that door or I will just shoot you from here. She's like, I have to open the door. They know I'm here. They saw me. They spoke to me. They know I'm in the house. They're going to think it's more unusual if I don't open up the door. So as she opens up the door, she immediately ducks. My partners start taking fire. One of my partners gets in the threshold, starts returning fire, grabs the lady and then pulls her out of the threshold. They get into another gun exchange right there. He hops out of through the bathroom in the back of the house, hops another fence, goes into another house, or tries to go into another house. And that lady, at that point, we already have the drone up. So we have the drone. That lady's calling 911. So the 911 dispatcher tells her that, hey, you can still get out of the house. She's communicating to the sergeant like, hey, get out of the house through the front door. The guy is still in your backyard. Just try not to make too much noise. Like, he doesn't even know you're inside. So she gets out through the front door. We come up, grab her. So essentially, he gets in there. We get a barricaded subject at that point. My team has a standoff for approximately, I think 9-10 hours. Pretty much multiple gunfights from he shooting outside the house to where our SWAT team's at. So multiple gunfights. I think at one point, my team leader was telling me that they were running out of rounds and they were just literally reloading AR rounds and throwing them online so they can continue the gunfight. We used up all our gas and everything. Blew an explosive charge on the side of the door. The team did everything they needed to do, but essentially at the end, the guy tried to make one last ditch to try to get from the garage because he initially was pinned down in the garage. Try to make one last run to the house and probably try to jump another house or try to get away. And that's when one of my partners took the last shot that ended the whole ordeal. And then once I was at the hospital, I didn't know this. I just thought I got shot once because that's all I felt. Come to find out, I was shot twice by a Glock with a 45 mil ACP. I was shot in the neck that grazed me, and then the other one was in my shoulder here. After I took off my vest, I had a small bruise, nothing major. And they're like, hey, did you get shot there? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how many times I got shot. But come to find out, the round was still in the vest, everything. They're like, hey, you got shot in your vest or in the shoulder. And I was like, oh, okay. I just thought, because they were asking us, they're like, hey, where's that bruise from? And I was like, I think it's from the gym. I was like, me and my girlfriend went to the gym, and I believe we did, chest that day. So I was doing bench and dumbbells, and I'll get small bruises or something. So I thought it was from the gym. But yeah, so I got that. Truly, it was amazing because I was able to return fire with, being shot. I'm right-handed, so if I would have been shot on the right side, I know it would have been a lot more difficult to return fire and draw my gun out, and especially being able to continue the fight where I could give directions and let my team know where the guy was going, which potentially saved other innocent people that weren't even related to the call.